Perfect. Hi guys, a very good evening. You appreciate that you guys are joining on Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock. I'm assuming it must be after a work or you must be studying. So today's session is all about how you can make your projects. Right? We have an industry expert who can let you know what to do, how to do, and and what are the projects which you should pick it up in order to make an impact, right? Before that, before we bring our guest into this session, uh, quickly, it's an interactive session. You put your question in the chat box. We will pick it up from there, and we will try to answer as many as questions as possible, right? Perfect. Before that, quickly, just send me a hi in the WhatsApp chat, and just let me know if we are, technically equipped, if you can hear me and see me properly. I see a lot of people saying hi. People are saying it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, man, we are live. We are on time. Um, Perfect, guys. A quick thumbs up would make a lot of understanding. Yes, hi, Aman. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Perfect. I think people are putting in their chat. I think we should start with the session in that case. Perfect. Hi, Shailja. How are you doing?
Hey, love it. I'm doing good. What about you? It's a weekday.
Yes, it's a weekday and it is a hectic day, but we are pulling it off. Perfect. So today we are here to speak about the projects which student can make for their like particularly for the data science segment, right? Shailja, before we move ahead, I would appreciate if you could just give a quick round of introduction to the users so that they can understand what they're getting and from whom they're getting.
Sure, sure. So, hi everyone. I am Shailja Mishra, and currently I'm working as a data and applied scientist at Microsoft. And before working as a data scientist, I was working as a core data engineer at Fractal Analytics, which is again an AI/ML based company. So, from the starting of my career, I am into data domain through different fields of data engineering, data visualization, and data science. And I hope I'll be able to answer a few questions along with that, help you what kind of projects you should make in order to stand out for any kind of interviews.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Guys, if you have any questions, particularly that you want Selja to answer, put it in the chat box. We will try to pick it up as many as possible. And if they're out of the questions which we have made, we will pick them up and we will let you know, right? And also, there's a link in the description for the post. If you wanna go through it, explore a little bit about it, feel free to use that, right? So when we say projects, right? Let's start with if we are speaking projects, right? What are the kind of topics are involved in the projects? Like just let's start with the basics.
Sure. I guess that's actually very much important for people to understand basics. And I feel that data science is a very hyped term currently in the market. So when anyone talks about projects and anything, they just go towards higher or complex data science topic like deep learning and everything. But what I have seen and understood that your projects specifically, if you're aiming for any data science role, should revolve around a very basic foundation of data science. So, when I say that, a few important topics which you should surely cover and make sure your foundation is strong in that is prediction. I guess that's the out of all the applications of data science, one important and major application is prediction system. And lot many companies and different domain people are using these algorithms for prediction. After that comes what kind of how you can segment people, like how you can cluster different people, and you using that clustering techniques, how would you actually help your business to grow. So clustering is another very important topic under data science that actually you should cover if you're thinking of making any data science projects. After that, we can move on to NLP, that's natural language processing, deep learning. But again, like I said, focus on the foundation, classification, regression, prediction, clustering. These should be your go-to topics when you are thinking of creating any basic level data science project.
Perfect. So, what are like the beginners level projects they can work upon to get started, and then how can they scale it up? Like, how can they take it from beginners to intermediate? And I'm sure not a lot of advanced people would be looking into it, but if they
Mhm.
are, if you can just put a few words for those folks.
Sure. So I was saying, right? I believe if you are someone who's a fresher or who's starting his career, his or her career in data science, I would say there are a few topics which you can pick up uh, and create projects around it. When I say basic, the project won't be basic, and I would say it would be advantageous for you because you would understand all the crux of data science with the very important topics. So let me give you an example of a project. I give you an example, right? Prediction. So a lot of companies, a lot of industries are using these prediction algorithms to help their business grow better. Now, let me take an example of an industry, okay, which creates a lot of equipments. Now, I can create a project, just an idea, that we can create a project which helps in prediction of any kind of industrial equipment. What I mean here is the goal here is that you have to predict any kind of failures, any kind of breakdowns that can happen through any equipment, so that the company, the industry which is using those equipments, which are creating those equipments, they can proactively manage and minimize any kind of downtime. So and this may sound a complex example, but long story short, a very common example, a very common project topic that you can look out for is any kind of prediction. With a given set of data that you have, you can predict any kind of deformity, any kind of issue that can happen in that particular existing data set. And that's a very common use case of data science projects.
Perfect. I think I can see a few of the questions in the comment section. I will just pick a few, right, and then we
Mhm.
will go back to the questions, right?
Okay.
So Akshay is asking, is it free course on YT by Newton School for data science or just a webinar? But it's just a webinar to make you aware how the things and how our curriculum is designed, right? If you want to get into that, you can register in the link in the description, and the concerned people will reach out to you, right? The next question is, what are the specifications a project must contain for a fully fledged project?
Okay. So I this won't be a short answer for sure because person has mentioned fully fledged project. But let's say I want to categorize what all the things that I have to undergo in a data science project. So first and foremost thing that you have to understand when you are attempting any data science project is you have to understand the goal. Like what exactly is the goal? What exactly is your objective here? What kind of problem you are solving? Like in the case, like the example that I gave you, here we were predicting any kind of equipment failure so that that industry which is creating that equipment can save their money, can save their downtime, and make sure if there is something wrong in any product which we have predicted, they can cater to that. So the first and foremost thing should be you understand the goal, you understand the objective. Second comes because it's data science and data is the most important part here. So you should be able to understand what kind of data you need to solve that problem. How is the data coming? Data can come in batches, data can come in real time. So data collection should be the second primary focus whenever you are attempting any data science project. After that, now you have the data, you understand the problem. You cannot go ahead and use any machine learning algorithm to train that data and get the output. No. There is a very important step which I think most of the people miss and they should not, is what is called data pre-processing and cleaning. After getting the data, you have the raw data in your hand. That raw data cannot or may not give you fruitful results. So we have to process the data, we have to clean the data so that you can align the data in that form which is actually required for your machine learning algorithms. So third here is data pre-processing and cleaning. After that, again, a very important part, feature engineering. Feature engineering is very important because you might have like hundreds of rows and thousands of columns of data. All of those attributes may not be useful to you. So you have to identify which are all the features which you can use in your prediction algorithm. And lastly, now you have the data, you have cleaned the data, you have identified the features. Now you can go ahead and build your machine learning model. Which algorithm you have to choose is again something that you have to decide there. That if you are doing any kind of prediction, you can choose random forest, you can choose support vector machine, you can choose recurrent neural networks. So again, you have a lot of choices there. And finally, all these things will go into vain if you don't evaluate your final output. So you should be able to use different matrices to evaluate how actually your model has performed. And finally, are you able to reach where you wanted to? Because initially, if you remember, we set an objective. So if you are able to somewhere reach around the objective, that's a successful data science project.
Perfect. Considering that you have been in this industry since a very long time, since a while, I believe, right? Students always ask a question from the speaker that it's okay what you're saying. I understand that, right? But can you suggest them a few topics like which you started with, or what were your learnings and why did you pick them up? If you think it's a relevant answer, and if you can suggest them that what pathway should they walk and pick up those topics just to make the research part easy.
Sure, sure. I would say I would answer the second question first, the research part. So basically, for the people who are new to data science domain or who are still exploring, I have already mentioned that in the starting. I again say that don't just go into learning all the complex topics just because they sound fancy and they are the buzz in the market, like deep learning, neural networks, now large language models. If you want to make a good career in data science, focus on the foundation, focus on the basics. If you are clear with the basics, if you have a strong hold on the basics, you can surely upskill and grow exponentially in data science domain. So from learning point of view, you should start with learning one language. Python is the preferred programming language. After that, we learn SQL. Going forward, we learn statistics. And finally, after learning all of these basics concepts of Python, SQL, and statistics, we move towards machine learning. Under machine learning, again, you have to understand supervised learning, unsupervised learning, different classification, regression, clustering, all of these algorithms. And most importantly, and I've been telling that multiple times to different forums, that as a data scientist, you'll not always work on different machine learning algorithms. 80% of the time you will be doing exploratory data analysis, data pre-processing, data cleaning, feature engineering. So while you are learning, you should focus on learning these concepts as well, rather than directly jumping on machine learning. Understand how you can process the data, how you can clean the data, how we perform feature engineering, what are the different techniques to do these things. Then finally, you can jump on to understanding what are the different algorithms, how they function, what's the maths behind them. Just don't go and learn the names. Understand how it's working. So that should be your step-by-step approach if you are targeting any data science role at any good company. Now, coming to the project part. So, frankly, I would say if I want to advise a few people in terms of what kind of projects they can make, so there are literally hundreds of examples of projects that I can pick here. But considering a person is starting his career in data science and wants some good examples of project, I would say one example or one project that you can surely add in your resume is customer segmentation. Why I'm saying that? Because you, me, and everyone are very much familiar with any e-commerce platform, be it Amazon, Flipkart, Mintra, etc., etc. So everyone understand how an e-commerce company works, how things are there. At least visually, we know that. So one project example that I can suggest here is that you can pick a project which does customer segmentation and then churn prediction. What exactly it means is that let's say Amazon is an e-commerce company. So what kind of customers buy what? So we have to do segmentation of different kind of customers depending on my like buying experience. What kind of products I buy, I might be a different kind of customer for Amazon. For you, who might buy into a different category of things and buy very occasionally, you might be a different kind of customer. So, for any such company which runs like Amazon and all of these companies, this is a very big problem these companies face. That there are different kinds of customers they have, but some customers do come back and buy again, but some do not. So, what might be the reason that this churn happens? That their customer don't come back. This is, I would say, is a very new topic, or new as in ongoing topic that you can pick for any data science project. Plus, since you understand this thing, how e-commerce company works, you'll be able to understand it better and move forward. So that's one suggestion in terms of a project, like how customer segmentation and churn prediction for any e-commerce company can fit into your resume as a basic data science project.
I believe coming from the expert, students will start picking it up. Perfect. So there's a question from Rupesh. He's asking, is it easy to find a job for data science from off campus? If you can just answer that.
I would say finding any data science job either off campus or on campus is not easy. And I'll justify the reason for that. So a lot of people ask me this thing. I guess I saw that in the one of the comment also, that you have learned a lot of things and maybe you have made a few projects, but even after that you are not able to secure any good data science job in the market. One major reason is, and you can cross validate what I'm saying is, if you go and check for any good company which is hiring for data science role, they'll have this strict restriction that you need to have at least 2 years of experience or 3 years of experience. So they don't even consider freshers when hiring for such roles. But again, having said that, that doesn't mean that freshers cannot secure data science jobs. Either you have experience, because your experience talks about your data science skills which companies ask for. If in case you don't have experience, in that case your resume and your projects in your resume work as your experience. It kind of works as a replacement, but only if you have good projects in your resume. At least 2 to 3 good data science projects around the hot topics of data science can help you to get data science job even off campus or as a fresher.
Perfect. I think my next question was around somewhere on the grounds, which you just answered, but I will still ask if you have anything else to put it in that. If not, then we will skip to the other question.
Sure.
Right? So, like, what is the significant amount of projects they should have? Of course, like you said, that quality should be more than the quantity, right?
Correct.
But like, what is the ideal number, or as a senior, what is a significant number which can create an impact on the recruiter or on the person who's reviewing the profile?
Okay. I would say there is an ideal number, but obviously there is a perception that comes into any recruiter's mind when they see your resume. So if you
Correct.
have 2 to 3 good projects in your resume, again, I have used the word good here because you cannot go ahead and create 3 projects which are around classification and regression, basic prediction. In
Hmm.
that case, your resume will not hold that much of weightage. But I
Hmm.
would always suggest people to have at least 3 projects in your resume. One
Hmm.
around a basic skill, and when I say basic data science topic, it can be clustering, it can be regression, any prediction use case you can pick for your basic project. Second is, you can, like the example that I gave, segmentation, where you're using different clustering techniques, and on top of that, you're building a machine learning model. So you can pick something which lies in what we call medium level of data science project. And lastly, you can move forward towards more advanced topic. Like, I'll give you an example here. Like, there is NLP is something which is again a very hot topic in data science domain. When we say NLP, it's basically natural language processing. So one project that you can pick here is sentiment analysis. Again, you would say, ma'am, that's a very common topic. But even if it's a very common topic, people do value, like, you get more weightage over others if you understand the concepts of NLP, because that comes in advanced topic. So sentiment analysis is a very important and useful use case which companies do use. We go ahead and comment on Twitter, Instagram. We do go ahead and provide reviews on different products. Companies do use that data that we provide in terms of reviews to understand if the reaction was positive, if the reaction was negative, or if the reaction was neutral. And using those details, they then like kind of modify their business strategies, their marketing strategy, their products, and all of that. So, long story short, sentiment analysis is again a very important and common use case. So, you can pick your third project around NLP, or more if you want to go. You can even go towards neural networks and large language models. But you should have this step by step, a basic project, a medium level project, and at least advanced topic project like NLP.
Perfect. I believe a lot of questions are coming in the comment box. But guys, we will try to pick up as many questions as possible. But if we are not able to, then we will for sure try to answer them in the next coming session. Right? But if you want to get them answered, experts like Shailja, right? I have given down the link in the description box over there. People, experts come and lecture you about how the whole course is about, and you can ask them as many questions as possible, right? Perfect. So, moving on, right? If you have any particular place where you have been consuming such content, and it can be students can use it as a resource, right? If you have any such books, podcast, or any particular website, right? If you have in mind, Shailja, if you can just tell us to.
Sure. Sure. I would say for someone who is starting his or her journey in data science, the very good and I would say very well-known resource is from a person called Andrew Ng. He's considered the godfather of data science for at least for people who are new to this field. So he has a very good content available on YouTube. I'm not pretty sure what part of it is free or not, but overall, if you want to understand the basics of data science, Andrew NG should be some your go-to place. So, and I even myself, while my preparation, I used to refer his content a lot. Then comes for statistics. There's again a guy called Josh Stammer. You can follow him. You can follow his blogs. You can follow his content on YouTube. He actually explains the concepts of statistics so easily that the fear of maths and statistics goes like anything. So these are mainly two resources. But I would say once you are done understanding the theory of data science, like what and why, you should focus on how. Because data science is all about testing and experimenting things. You can learn a lot of things theoretically, but until you go and implement and try it out, all your learnings are not actually getting used. So for that, I would say your go-to website should be Kaggle. Kaggle is a place where a lot of data science people do have good projects already available. You can refer to those projects, understand how people actually approach any such projects. You have freely available data sets there. Just pick a data set and start your journey of data science. So again, Kaggle is again a very good resource for people who want to practice their knowledge of data science.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. I think there are a few questions which are like, I think we can just quickly run through them in one-liners, if you won't mind.
Mhm.
How many hours in a day am I supposed to put to learn data science?
I've never got the answer to this question, frankly. I've got this question multiple times. I always say this thing that ours is something which is not a generic thing. That depends on the learning capabilities of a person. Some person take time to learn, some can get it very easily. But
Hmm.
I cannot answer ours, but I would say at least give 6 months of dedicated time to data science, and then you'll understand what exactly is. People think that they can do it in like 1 month or something. That's not data science. That's just the uber level data science that you can grab in that point of time. You have to spend time analyzing and understanding. So now you can understand how many hours in a day you can put.
I have an answer for the same.
Sure,
So
go
you
ahead.
have to give as many hours until and unless you have not mastered that particular skill. Is that the right answer?
I guess so. Yeah.
Perfect. So, can you? So, this is one more question. I am completed 10 projects, but no deployment project. Can you please explain, ma'am?
So, like I was saying, right? See, if you go ahead and create 10 projects and you think that's not helping you out, so you might want to step back and understand that what was the intent of you creating 10 projects. If the intent was only to get job, so I would say in that case, focus on what kind of projects you have made. Like I gave the example, right? You can go ahead and create multiple projects in your resume, but if all the projects which you have mentioned in your resume are around very basic concepts of data science, some people do put, I'm not mentioning it, but some people do put any kind of common project, copied projects, some very basic concepts. I go ahead and create 10 projects around classification. That will not help me out. So one thing is, if you think that your current resume with 10 projects is not helping you because like you said the deployment has been an issue, focus on first of all understanding what is going wrong in your resume, because your resume is the one that actually helps you to get the interview call. Later, how you prove yourself is a very different story. But
Hmm.
understand and analyze what is going wrong in your resume. does your resume satisfies all the criterias, at least 60 to 70% criterias of the company you are applying for. Search for keywords, match the keywords with the job description. After that, like I said, analyze your projects. Are your projects up to that level that they can help you qualify any good interview? If not, then start inculcating few advanced data science projects also. So these would be some suggestions. And since you mentioned you haven't done deployment yet, so an end-to-end data science project is what includes deployment as well. So if you haven't tried deploying it and have a portfolio which you can attach in your resume, that again helps.
Perfect. I think perfect. There's this one question which is coming once again. Buddy, you need not to spam. I will pick it up as I'm picking other people questions. So please don't spam it. In job perspective, certificate important or not?
Yeah, I see that. I guess multiple times that question was asked. So again, I have this is again a common question, and I'm glad someone asked it. So again, what is your intent to do any certification? If your intent is only clear the certification so that you get this X and Y certified, and you attach that in your resume, I don't think so. That's helping you a lot. But when we do any kind of certification, in order to clear that certification, we do learn a lot of things because that's high level. If you're going for level 400 or something, it's high level certifications. So in order to clear that certifications, we do have to learn a lot of things around a particular domain. So if you are attaching any certifications in your resume, first of all, don't attach certification from any XYZ source, which is not trustable. Okay. So if you have some certifications which you have done from some elite sources, you go ahead and add that. But make sure that if I'm adding that I'm certified in XYZ domain, if someone comes and asks me something around that domain, if it's a basic question or a medium level question, I should be able to answer it. Because otherwise, that works in a negative way, that you are certified in this particular domain but you're not able to answer such a basic question. So in that case, certification doesn't help. But if you are able to justify your expertise in that particular domain along with that certification, certification does help. But again, it should be from an elite source, not some normal sources.
Perfect. This is one last question. This is coming from VS. I think it's a good question. It would be a good question. Please suggest good books to learn ML from. Do you have any
Good
suggestion that
books.
comes to mind? Yeah.
I do have a lot of books with names. I don't remember the exact names because, frankly, I'll not lie here. I'm not a very book reader enthusiast for learning something apart from it's a novel or something. But I'm more of a person who learns through videos, through visual learning is my area. That's why I said Andrew Ng and Andres Karpathy, Josh Stammer. These are the guys I do read, but I read their blogs. Don't I don't read books. So maybe I'm not the correct person to answer that.
Perfect. I think few people were asking for your LinkedIn. I will just put your LinkedIn, and if you have any questions, ask her, and I'm quite sure she will. She must be whenever she can see, she will try to answer that. Right? I've put it
Sure,
on the
sure.
chat box. And guys, this is not a recorded session. I've been picking a few of the live answers, and if few people were asking for the names, buddy, this gonna be a record. This session is getting recorded, so you can go to YouTube, see it later on, and you can pick up the names. No problem for that, right? Particularly, so I think we have majorly covered this session. All questions are done from my end. If you have any closing words, Shailja, please let me know.
Yeah, I would just like to close here. I can maybe reiterating what I said, but understanding that the audience is someone who is targeting data science role or might be fresher in this domain. Focus on building skills, not just getting any basic level job that you can crack with your current skill. Focus on skill building, focus on foundation, and then focus on having a good resume with 2 to 3 good number of projects around data science. Then this question of how is it easy or tough to get a data science job, you'll be able to answer that yourself.
Perfect. All right, guys, I'm putting a small feedback form in the chat box. Please do fill it up. It helps us understand how and what we have missed in this session, so that we can pick it up in the forthcoming sessions, and we can try to answer and try to be as much answerable in these 30 minutes or 40 minutes session, right? So this is going to help us, and it's going to help you as well at the same time. Other than that, I have jotted down a link in the description. Go through it. If you like it, make sure you go ahead with it, and the concerned POCs will get in touch with you. Right?
Oh,
I think we are pretty much done with the this session. Thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks for coming, Shailja, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Yeah,
thank you so much. Bye bye.
perfect. Bye bye. See you.